All right, guys, you're about to see a reenactment with a bunch of trained professionals. If you aren't a trained professional, go become one, and then you can try this at home. As a SEAL for 12 years, I learned quick that testing and evaluation are critical. I want to have the zip ties knuckle to knuckle. You have no idea what works and what doesn't until the bullets actually start flying. And now that I'm out, I get tons of people asking me all the time about their favorite TV shows and movies. What's realistic and what isn't? Well, there's only one way to find out. It's time to put Hollywood to the test. I'm Raso, and this is Media Lab. All right, guys, in this episode of Media Lab, we're going to talk about multiple attackers. It seems like in every single action movie I watch with a combative scenario that has multiple attackers, it's just completely ridiculous. But I'm going to tell you why in a second, but check out these clips first. All right, guys, we just watched those clips. Really ridiculous fight scenes from multiple attackers all the way through. But what I want to talk about is a scene from the movie Jack Reacher, which was done really well. It wasn't perfect, of course, because it's Hollywood. We always got something to bring to the table, and we're going to watch it right now. So, of course, for Hollywood purposes, they send the hot chick in, right, to go sit down with him and draw him in a little bit, try to get him to drop his guard. And of course, the guys come in and make it act like she started a fight.
Outside.
Now, these guys are walking out. He's in between all these guys. I would never be putting guys that want to kick the crap out of me behind me. You always want to keep everybody in front of you.
It's your last chance to walk away.
Are you kidding? It's 5 against 1.
It's 3 against 1.
How do you figure?
Once I take out the leader, which is you.
He just broke down the fact that that's the alpha male, so the psychology behind him figuring out who's who.
Last 2 guys, they always run.
So it waits for them to attack. I probably would have went preemptive and took that first guy out and then used that hole to escape. Some Keysi fighting methods, short, effective strikes, hammer fist, elbows.
Love that he shifts him over, put him in between the other threats. Now he's putting an obstacle in between them, makes it more difficult to attack.
Really?
So there's a lot going on here, and that's why we're really excited to break this thing down. We've got psychology, we've got the multiple attackers, the multiple martial arts being used. I've got Dylan here, of course, to help me out, and we've got some guys from Trident Response Group that are gonna join us. So it's gonna be really cool to take over there, and we're gonna go break it down. So when we're walking out of the bar, the last place that I want to be is in between guys that are already thinking about kicking the crap out of me, right? An ideal place for me to be is with all my attackers in front of me, so I know exactly where they all are, and I've got an eye on them, so if they do start attacking, I can prepare for it, move against the wall. I've already got it out. I've identified my exits and places that I can move. The other main point is Sandy, the chick in the corner, never count her out. She's a threat too. I've seen girls jump into fights with blades, biting, trying to gouge out eyes, pull hair, and they can be a serious nuisance when you're trying to beat the crap out of somebody else. Now you got this girl poking you in the side. So never count her out, and she's definitely somebody you don't want to put behind you either. So the first part, when he starts talking about the psychology, there is always that alpha male, the guy that everybody else is feeding off of. And that's the guy that you really want to pay attention to and try to crush first. First strike that he does, he ducks under and slips, and now he throws a spinning back elbow. And then once he turns around, he gets a guy throwing a haymaker. This is probably the most common strike you're gonna see in a bar, especially Western civilization, where guys are just getting really amped up, they're full of energy, they're throwing that long swing, just trying to knock your head off, right? They're swinging for the gates. So he comes in, crashes. You heard us talk about the Keysi fighting method before in previous episodes, where he's covering up just to get inside, but it's also kind of a modified crashing, because you see Tony Blauer, and he's almost splaying his fingers. Some of them he does, some of them he doesn't. It's kind of a mixture. But once he crashes in here, it's a great move to be able to move to the next tool that you're using, whatever it is. And this one, he ends up hammer fisting his biceps, so this soft tissue, he crashes down on this and then comes over with the elbow, short strike to the face, stuns this guy. Again, we talked about the spinning move. He ends up spinning to hit this guy. The next guy is another haymaker. He crashes in here. He does an incidental, almost hammer fist slash half clinch to his face. Does this guy throws a kidney shot, and then he pulls him into this guy to clear both of these guys out of the way. Next guy is coming with another haymaker, and now he changes levels up top, and now he hammer sticks down to his leg. Once he does that and throws that strike, he's sweeping him down to the ground. The last guy comes back in with a kick, and he steps in, catches this kick. The one thing I love about this is that after he throws his first shot, he orientates this guy in between him and the other threats. So now it puts an object between the other guys. They have to work through him to get to me. Gives this guy a nut shot, and the scene ends. So
Last chance to walk away.
All right, that's the way Jack did it in the movie. Now we're gonna break it down how I would do it. All right, guys, so that's our multiple attacker episode. You saw Jack Reacher put himself in the middle of everyone, not necessarily the best situation you could put yourself in. You saw what I ended up doing, and we talked about the haymakers, you know, bar fights, one of the most common weapons used. And as I was looking up stuff on the internet, one of the first things that comes up if you look up multiple opponents is on WikiHow, how to fight off multiple opponents. And contrary to what you might see in movies, fighting multiple attackers is almost a losing proposition. So right away, you hear us talk about mindset all the time, and the first thing that comes up on the internet is a losing mindset. They're already telling you you're gonna fail. Never go in with a losing mindset. If you go in and visualize winning, you'll come out way better than you would have if you went in with a losing mindset. So I had the guys from Trident Response Group come out and help me, and I appreciate it, fellas. It was awesome letting me beat up on you guys a little bit, and of course, Dylan, but he's not in Trident Response Group, but I appreciate it, guys. And this team was a lot of fun to break down. All right, now on to the questions. So we wrapped that up. It was a great episode. Now, of course, this is the part of the show where guys get to send their questions in. If I could only have one gun, what would it be? If I had to choose one, I'm pretty partial to the HK416. It's super adaptable. Obviously, it's a 5.56 platform, and you can get them from having longer barrels to 10-inch uppers, throwing a Night Force on there, be able to hit out to 600-700 yards, but still be able to use it for close quarters is definitely a great option, or a 7.62 platform. Next question. How'd I meet Dylan? Well, if you know anything about Kelly McCann, he's one of the greatest practitioners out there for teaching combatives. And Dylan and I both had a love for combatives, and we went to one of the seminars that he was putting on, and we ended up linking up. The first time we met was literally beating the crap out of each other. And the level of intensity Dylan showed was awesome. Not too many people can match that, and we've been friends ever since. Now we're still beating the crap out of each other. All right, I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode of Media Lab.